In many situations in British English, being too direct can sometimes sound a little bit rude or impolite, even if that's not your intention at all. So in today's lesson, we're going to look at how to soften our language. We'll explore some simple ways to make your statements, opinions, and even disagreements sound more considerate, polite, and just nicer. This will make all of your English communications easier and more pleasant. As always, there's a free PDF guide to accompany this lesson with all the phrases and examples we cover today. If you're already on my email list, it'll be straight into your inbox. If not, you can download it from the link in the description below. Hi, I'm Steve. Let's do this. Our first strategy for softening language involves using modal verbs. That's just a fancy term for words like might, could, or may, instead of more direct statements. Let's take a moment to listen to a direct statement.
This plan will fail.
Now that's very direct and sounds negative. To soften it, we can introduce a modal verb. For example,
this plan might not be successful.
Or,
this plan could face some challenges.
See how might or could make this statement less definite and more considerate of other possibilities or feelings. It opens up discussion rather than closing it down. Now, to pronounce these correctly, make sure these modal verbs are not overly stressed, unless you want to emphasize an uncertainty. More often, they're really lightly pronounced. For example, you're not likely to say, it might be late, but rather, it might be late. You try it. Try and keep the stress off might. It might be late. Now it's your turn. How could you soften this direct statement using the modal verb could? Speak your answer out loud. You're making a mistake. You could be making a mistake. Another excellent way to soften your language and sound kinder is to use hedging words and phrases. These are words like perhaps, possibly, or maybe. Or phrases like it seems that, or it appears to be. Let's watch an example.
Your work is not good enough.
That's quite strong and harsh. We can soften this a lot. Listen.
Perhaps your work could be improved.
Or,
it seems this piece of work is a little below your usual standard.
using perhaps or it seems and a little make the feedback less blunt and more constructive. To pronounce perhaps in a fast, natural way, use a schwa sound. That's that little sound that's so common in English. So it's not perhaps, it's perhaps. And it's a normal speed, perhaps. You try. Now it's your turn. How could you rephrase this direct opinion to sound softer using the hedging word perhaps? That idea is terrible. And the softer version, perhaps that idea needs a bit more thought. Our third strategy is about making your language less personal, which can be very useful, especially if you're pointing out a problem or something that needs correcting. Instead of directly saying, "You did something," we can focus on the action or the situation itself. Let's look at an example where someone is being quite direct.
You made several errors in this report.
This directly blames the individual person. To make this sound softer and less like we're blaming them, we can change the sentence so it's not about you, but focus on the errors instead.
It looks like there are several errors in this report.
Did you see how that feels different? We're talking about the errors, not directly at the person who might have made them. It helps to keep the conversation less confrontational. A common phrase to start this kind of less personal statement is, "It looks like." To say this in a natural, fast way, move the S across from looks to the front of like. So slowly it sounds like this, "It looks like." And at normal speed, "It looks like." You try. Now practice changing this direct instruction to make it feel less personal. Focus on what needs to happen rather than who must do it. You must complete this by Friday. Start with "It looks like." It looks like this needs to be completed by Friday. Next is all about how you explain things. Instead of just saying no or a direct negative expression, you can frame it more positively or simply ask a question.
Do you have this in blue?
No, we don't.
To soften this and sound kinder,
Do you have this in blue?
I'm afraid we don't have that in blue at the moment, but we do have it in green.
using phrases like "I'm afraid," "I'm sorry," "it seems," softens the negative. Plus, offering an alternative really helps. The phrase "I'm afraid" is very common in British English to politely deliver bad news. To say this like a native speaker, change the A at the front to the schwa sound and stress "frayed" by pronouncing it far more clearly, like this, "afraid," and at normal speed, "afraid." You try. Now someone suggests a meeting time you can't make. How can you decline this without sounding really negative? Starting with "I'm afraid" and giving an alternative of "Would Wednesday work instead?" "I can't do Tuesday at 10 a.m. I'm afraid Tuesday at 10 a.m. isn't ideal for me. Would Wednesday work instead?" So these are 4 useful strategies to soften your language and sound nicer and more polite. Practicing these techniques will help you navigate conversations more diplomatically, which is great in both professional and social settings, particularly in British English. Don't forget to download your free PDF guide from the description if you haven't already got it. It has all these examples and more to help you practice. Now, I'm afraid that you have no excuse for not clicking on this video for another great English lesson. I'll see you next time.